wow, you look gorgeous.
Thank
and I love
you.
your eyes are like the exact same color of this dress.
Oh, that wasn't planned.
That wasn't planned?
But it happened.
And the throne, dominates it and has to be, like 30 feet tall or something like that. And I don't know, 20 feet tall, big, tall thing, where the king on it looks over the room. I mean, that's described at numerous points. When you're up there, you're looking down on everyone the way I am looking down on you peasants and little people. See, I can see the top of your head, and see, that's psychologically very important to a throne. It makes you and I up here feel dominant over these. Well, there are those people up there. I don't know.
I'll be honest, I was scared of meeting you today, but you're not giving off much of a creepy vibe. You do have
wait until it's, 30
more seconds,
yeah, exactly.
And then the creepiness sets
No, people get, they're in general so excited about this show. It's insane. But it's good for me that I don't get recognized that easy, because otherwise I think people would come after me and try to burn me.
Do you ever look at a decision that Caitlin has made, maybe taking Tyrion captive or freeing the Kingslayer, and go, oh, why did she do that? She's basically started a world war.
I know. Oh, well...
Do you think you would have done it differently?
No, I don't think so. No, I think, of course, in retrospect, you go, oh, for fuck's sake, what did she do that for?
They always ask me to say Arya's list.
Walder Frey.
With their name on the list, which is creepy.
The Mountain.
So many people have videos of me like, Joffrey, Cersei, Alan.
Is there something you've written and you've gone, why did I do that?
No.
No.
No, I'm pretty happy with most of what I've done. There are a few things that you were not aware of, because as a gardener, with the kind of writing style that I use, I go down a lot of dead ends. So there are moments of, why the hell did I do that? But they never appear in the books, because hopefully I say that before the book comes out, and then I rip out that chapter, or I revise that chapter, so something different happens instead, and it feels better. It works better for me. So
we find out she speaks Valyrian, and there was a lot of moments where she was just really just so girl power and amazing. I mean, she is in every season, but we were just like, I feel like this scene reminds me of this Beyonce song. So it was like, it became a bit of a thing, and the sort of who run the world kind of became a bit of a catchphrase. And so sometimes we'll be on set and she'll say something in the scene, and then we'll cut, and then I'll be like, who run the world? And she's like, girls. It's like, it's very fun.
What is the first thing you look for?
Nowadays, it's whether I'm going to die or not, because it's so unpredictable. They kill all of us off. So I check at the end of.
You go right to the end?
Oh, no, I'm like flicking through. I'm like, death. Okay, right. I'm good for this season.
You're good for this season.
Happy family life at Winterfell, and that is literally the last you ever see it. It's just, it's ripped apart. They love that stuff here, apparently. But it's just ripped apart straight from there, and then just layers just get pulled off Caitlyn's character. Layers get pulled off other characters as well in a different sort of way.
I was the only one that had that HBO put a no nudity clause into, so I got to keep all my clothes on.
So
that's it.
So HBO wrote that into your contract?
Oh, yeah, they put it in.
Is that offensive, or...?
Well, I can't say I was disappointed.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, from Sansa Stark's point of view, it would be very much like, manipulate... she'd say show off your sexuality to get what you want. So I can't wait to see David Cameron showing off his sexuality. I don't know. I think, just really manipulative, evil, sneaky.
Talking about meaty characters, apart from your own, who on Thrones do you think we should be most paying attention to in season 6?
Arya.
Apart from your own.
I thought you said apart from Jon Snow.
Apart from your own.
It's always been on about Jon Snow. Daenerys. It's a very, very strong year. But she's always got a strong year, so that's like a cheap answer.
We were in I think there were about 200 people there at the entire convention. We were in a hotel called the Diplomat here in Melbourne, which was one of the biggest flea bags you could ever expect. It had a bar about the size of this table, which was troublesome because the bars are the centers of a traditional science fiction convention. And so there were about 40 people jammed into the bar, and one of them was Peter Nichols smoking his big cigars. So we all were smoking a cigar that weekend. It was right across from Luna Park. I remember I could look out my windows and see that hideous demon face.
That actually inspired the White Walkers, which is an interesting fact. But, well, this time we've rolled out the real red carpet for you. It's the finest theatre that 1975 has to offer. So fantastic.
I like it. It's very cool.
I think it'd be fair to say, based on what you just said, that you don't write to a plan. The writing more just, grabs you and you just sort of chase it.
Yes and no. I mean, I do know where I'm going. I know where the story ends. I know the fate of the principal characters. No, I'm not going to tell any of you. But there is a considerable amount that you discover in the process of writing.
I'd say that Theon would say it's important to have a voice. So you need to vote. And I would say to the candidates to just keep it together and don't lose any part of yourself that was there before.
It's an old house, that is true, but I mean, it's drafty. It's drafty. It's not necessarily the most kind of comfy place. Okay. I love my home.
Wait, say again?
I love my home. That was a horrible thing to say. My home is very cozy and comfy. But it's cold and drafty, and there are brick stone walls and corridors.
Right, I get it. I could only imagine how difficult it is to communicate from one side of the castle to the other.
Telephones, yay! Thank goodness for telephones.
Thank goodness.
Yes.
Another joy of Game of Thrones is the friends you've made, actually, for life. And Richard is one of them. And I was very fortunate that I had a majority of my stuff was with Richard. And I just adore him, and I trust him implicitly, and I think it would, for me personally, I'll never forget the way he said "mother."
That's pretty nice. That's sweet. That's nice. He'll never say it again, but that's beautiful. That's really nice.
Now, if you had £1 for every time you've been asked some variation of a question about Jon Snow, how rich would you be?
I wouldn't have to act ever again. I wouldn't have to do anything. I'd never lift a finger again. I'd just sit in my home.
What would you buy with all that money?
I'd buy a massive Jon Snow with loads of swords coming out of him and be like, see?
I mean, who? Jon who?
Who? Oh, I'm not really sure. Little character?
Jon Snow. Ah. No, he's dead.
It's funny and not funny because I don't understand why there's so much pressure on my character for bringing him back. Maybe because I have some magical powers, but I've never brought anyone back to life. I mean, I have some potions. I gave birth to Shadow Baby. I can put leeches on people's genitals, but it doesn't.
What you do in your spare time has nothing to do with what we're talking about. No, go ahead.
How does it feel that people have named their kids after you?
That's really weird. I met this. It was so embarrassing. It was this really ugly dog that I saw the other day, and this woman was like, "Oh my god, my dog is named so after you," and I was like, "Thanks." Good. So cute.
That's awesome.
But Game of Thrones is perfect.
I think so, pretty much, yeah. I have, I am bad with eye color, but that's what Elio and Linda are for. They correct me on my eye color. And I have a horse that changes sex. He's not supposed to change sex, or she is not supposed to change sex. She just seems to do so accidentally.
Who rides this androgynous horse? Whose is it?
I think it was Bran's horse, actually.
Oh.
I think it was...
Dancer.
Yeah. It changes from a mare to a gelding or something in the between books. So that was pointed out to me by my fans. My fans are very eagle-eyed. They miss nothing, you bloody bastards.
I'd buy a massive model of Jon Snow.
And what would you do to it?
Repeatedly kill it.
Yeah. In front of people.
In front of people. Yeah.
Like, just to reiterate the point, guys.
Yeah. This is how he died.
When you walk around someplace like Comic-Con, do you see people cosplaying as your character?
I've seen a guy, yeah, I saw a guy. I mean, the most disturbing thing actually was like I was in Sydney. Well, not disturbing, it was kind of funny, but I was in Sydney and a guy came up to me and said, "Hey, Dad," and it was looked exactly like Joffrey after Joffrey died with all the blood. Like, "Hey, Dad." And then there was a Jamie who was also really good with the stump, and it's it's cool because you have people that are so passionate about all things pop culture and also about Game of Thrones, and then you know it's kind of we wouldn't be here without them.
If I did just bump into Emilia Clarke in the street and I was like, "It's Khaleesi," I would get her to say, "Where are my dragons?" Right? Do you have a line that you see as your catchphrase, or a line that that people tell you? Because I've prepared one for you.
Oh, have you? What's that?
On my honour as a Tully and as a Stark, let him go, or I will cut your wife's throat. That. Now,
I like that. Yeah.
Do you reckon you could whip that out?
Oh, you want me to say it?
Because
Oh God. Oh, with all that emotion.
Yeah,
no,
I could help you get into character if you want. Like,
yeah. Do you want to be the knife?
Yeah, yeah. I'll hold a knife to your throat, like.
I was like possibly going to say, "Welcome home, Ned," or something.
The happier times are the ones that you treasure.
See you later, love. Have a safe journey.
You'll be back on the morrow. All right.
They'd like film the wolves separately, like the dogs separately in LA, and then CGI them to make them bigger. So they're actually real. They're being really vicious. They're trained so well. You just like take a bone away from them, and they're like, ah. Which is what I'm like with food. Just to let you know.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Do you love your characters, or do they drive you insane at times, or?
Yes.
Both?
Both, yeah.
I
do love them, even the bad guys, even the ones I kill.
Even Ramsay Bolton.
You know, Ramsay's a misunderstood fellow.
What are we misunderstanding?
He had a hard childhood. Yeah.